Now on to the whatever rule of significant figures. We're gonna cover the multiplication and the division rule. So this is a bit tricky, but it's fine. It's gonna be okay after some time. So the rule is when you multiply or divide, the least number of sig figs in any number of the problem determines the number of sig figs in the answer. So, for example, if you multiply 1.001 by 420 without a decimal point, you can see that 420 has just two significant figures, but then 1.001 has four sig figs. So in this case, you choose the number which has a lesser number of sig figs, and that number of sig figs are gonna be in the answer. So 420 is the one with the less number of sig figs, and you can see it has two sig figs. So you're gonna have two sig figs in the answer. So when you multiply them together, you get 420.42, but then you have to limit the number to only two sig figs. So the multiplication answer to this question is just 420. So we got page 35, question 37, part B. It is 6.404 times 2.91. The whole thing divided by 18.7 minus 17.1. So when you're doing these kind of problems, you have to divide them into steps. So first you multiply the 6.404 with 2.91, which gives you, so you can see the least number of sig figs in the number before multiplication is 3 sig figs, and it's 2.91. So when you multiply them, the answer should have 3 sig figs. So when you multiply them, you get 18.63564. You limit them to 3 sig figs, and you get 18.6. So now moving on to the bottom part, which is 18.7 minus 17.1, you get 1.6, which is already one decimal point, so you don't have to change it at all. Now you divide the two numbers, so you divide 18.6 by 1.6, and as you can see, 1.6 just has two significant figures, which means the final answer should also have two significant figures. So when you divide the numbers, you get 11.625, but then you have to limit it again to two sig figs, and the final answer is 11, or it's 12. Yep. Now to part E. Here you have four numbers divided by 4, which means it's an average problem. So you got 9.5 plus 4.1 plus 2.8 plus 3.175, all divided by 4, which means that you have to use the addition rule first and then the division rule. So when you add the four numbers, they should not go beyond one digit beyond the decimal point. So when you add them together, you get 19.575, but then you limit them to the one digit beyond the decimal point, which is going to be 19.6 divided by 4, and the final answer is 4.9. So when you get, so in these average questions, the number you're dividing it by is 4, which means 4 has infinite number of sig figs, so you don't count the 4, so you just look at the top number, the number of sig figs it has, which means it's gonna have the final answer. So the final answer should actually be, it should be 4.90, because you need to have 3 sig figs, and that's it.